Welcome to another edition of Conversation with Neighbors. During this time, what I do is I read some of the letters that you send to me, and I want to thank everybody for taking the time to share their thoughts with me. And I'd like to start off the first one with an email that I received from Joe, and it says the following. I think that Governor Dannel Malloy owes PTR, which is a manufacturing company in Bristol, and the other in-state gun manufacturers a public apology, and anything less shows the true content of his character, which, as it currently stands, is very unprofessional. One would think that a person such as a governor, schooled in law, would know better than to make unsubstantiated remarks. He is a very poor example of leadership in Connecticut. I thank you, Joe, and for those folks who don't know what Joe is talking about, Governor Malloy in a recent interview was quoted as saying, quote, "What this issue is all about is the ability of the gun industry to sell as many guns as possible to as many people as possible, even if they're deranged, even if they're mentally ill, and even if they have a criminal record. They don't care." Well, I've responded to this not only on behalf of PTR and its employees, but I think it's outrageous to make inflammatory and unsubstantiated remarks like that because the people who are making these rifles are simply doing their job, trying to get a paycheck and earn money to be able to pay the bills, just like you and I are doing in our very different jobs. It's surprising and disturbing to me to have the leader of our state that has stated his highest priority is to have job creation and job retention make remarks like this and direct it to people who frankly had absolutely nothing to do with a tragedy in Newtown. So I thank you, Joe, for that. I also want to express my appreciation once again to PTR and their employees and let them know we are very appreciative and very supportive of them. And I really regret to know that they're going to be leaving because they feel not only unwelcomed, but definitely unappreciated, and they're not able to even do business for some of the products they make in the state of Connecticut, but they can in any other state in the country. So the second letter I'm going to speak about comes from Brian, and Brian is talking about small businesses. And he says, if Malloy keeps taxing and pushing businesses out of Connecticut, at some point he will be the only one employed. I know from my standpoint, as a small business owner here in town, I have seriously contemplated closing down and finding a job elsewhere. Where's my bailout funds? Between the recession, the economic outlook, and taxes, the future for small businesses in Connecticut, such as mine, is pretty bleak. I want to thank you, Brian, and I think you are absolutely correct, and there are others who are feeling that way as well. I talked to somebody last night who's told me they are going to move their business out of Connecticut by the end of the year just because of the hostile environment and the anti-business regulations and fees that are imposed here. There are better places for people to move, and we are going to suffer as a state and as a community when this trend continues to happen. So I want to thank you again for your letters. I will continue to fight for you and try and get jobs here and represent your views. And till the next edition, I thank you very much and look forward to reading your letters from this point on.